All right, folks, this is Harris Sultan, and welcome to another episode of Sultan's House of Sin. Right. I just wanted to share this news that, things are changing quite rapidly. And the latest one that is actually doing that is and I'm not surprised, is UAE. It is probably the most advanced Muslim country in the world right now. So this is Associated Press, AP News. It says UAE has announced relaxing of Islamic laws for personal freedoms. So what that means now, as I said, we already know UAE is a very modern country. I've been there twice. I've been to Dubai twice, and it almost feels like a Western country. But we've always heard that sometimes Westerners get caught for showing affection in public or maybe acting drunkenly. So those were the few things that were holding UAE back, and obviously those were inspired by Islam. So United Arab Emirates announced on Saturday a major overhaul of country's Islamic personal laws, allowing unmarried couples to cohabitate, meaning that they can, they don't have to be married if they're sleeping with each other, loosening alcohol restrictions, and criminalizing so-called honor killings. Now, these are massive, massive changes, guys, and they are coming to the UAE. Now, what that means, and I read that in detail, and you can obviously read that as well. What that means at this point, these things have been tabooed, where if a brother thinks that his sister brought dishonor to the family and then he kills her, then there's a khun baha kind of a law, which is Islamic law, that the family of the victim can actually forgive them. So because it's a brother, so he's also the family of the victim is also the family of the perpetrator. So they end up forgiving them. And because it's honor based, is because the guy or the brother or father thought that he killed his daughter or sister because she brought dishonor to the family. That's why it was somehow swept under the carpet. Now, the other thing is obviously loosening of alcohol restrictions. Now, Muslims can drink alcohol as well. I've been to Dubai, as I said, even though you can go to restaurants and you can drink alcohol. I remember having my Scotch on the rocks there. And last time when I went there, that was a while ago now, and I've been careful not to go to Dubai. I mean, the saddest part is that I really liked Emirates Airlines, but obviously that has to go through Dubai. And I have heard a couple of stories where people were arrested at the airport. Some Westerners were arrested at the airport. So I just didn't want to take the risk. But it looks like Dubai is going in the right direction, even though I'm a fan of Western liberal democracies. But this is still very good. UAE might not be a democracy yet, but it is definitely leading the Muslim world in terms of human rights and human dignity and personal freedoms. And this is going to be a major step. So congratulations, UAE. And I am really happy, and I really hope that rest of the countries will follow you. And a lot of people say that these changes are happening because I think UAE has now been given access to F-35 as well, the fighter jets, which is the world's leading fighter jet. UAE has recently acknowledged or accepted the existence of Israel. So all these things are happening, and that's what happens, guys. I mean, we live in a global village, and more we interact with each other, more we open trade and diplomatic avenues with different countries. That's when we get to learn. And what hurts me the most is that where UAE is headed now, Turkey used to be there 20 years ago. And I just cannot wait that we, cannot wait to get rid of, to see the back of Erdogan, and maybe someone truly secular comes to power in Turkey. To help me produce more videos like these, support me on Patreon or PayPal.